Janik faces an early challenge in the Burgundian defense Grunfeld variation, as Gupta sets the tone in German Bundesliga to 0-4-5 round 12. On d4. Knight f6. On c4. On e6. Knight f3. Bishop b4 check entered in Burgundian defense Grunfeld variation. Knight bd2. Bishop e7. On g3. On c5. On takes c5. Bishop takes c5. Bishop g2. Knight c6. King castled kingside. King castled kingside. On a3. On a5. Knight b3. Gupta considers playing knight takes c5. Bishop e7. Knight bd4. Queen b6. Knight b5. On d5. Bishop e3. It is novelty move. Gupta wants to play bishop takes b6. Bishop c5. Janik wants to play bishop takes e3. On takes e3. Knight g4. Queen c1. On takes c4 and establish a winning position. Bishop takes c5. Queen takes c5. On takes d5. On takes d5. Knight fd4. Queen b6. On e3. Bishop d7. Queen d2. On a4. Rook fd1. Rook a5. Janik intends to play rook takes b5. Knight takes b5. Queen takes b5. On h3. On h5. Rook ac1. Rook e8. Rook c3. Knight e5 and take decisive advantage. Knight c3. Knight e5. On h3. Rook c8. Queen e2. Rook ac5. Rook ab1. Knight c4. Knight a2. Queen c7. Knight b4. Knight b6. Queen e1. On h5. Knight d3. Gupta might go for knight takes c5. Rook c4. Rook bc1. Queen d6. Rook takes c4. Knight takes c4. Queen e2. On g6. Knight b4. Queen e5. Rook c1. Gupta wants to play knight takes d5. Knight b6. Rook takes c8 check. Knight takes c8. Queen c2. Queen d6. Knight b5. Gupta is planning to play knight takes d6. Queen e5. Queen c7. Gupta is planning to play queen takes e5. Queen takes b2. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d7. Knight cb6. Queen d8 check. King g7. Janik is setting up to play queen takes b5. Knight d6. Gupta is preparing to play knight e8 check. King h7. Bishop takes d5. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d5 and take decisive advantage. Knight f6. Queen e7. Queen b3. Take a moment to spot the best move for Gupta. Bishop takes b7 is logical continuation as Queen e6. Queen takes e6. On takes e6. King f1. Knight fd7. King e2. Gupta have small advantage. Let's go to the main line. Gupta is preparing to play queen takes f7 check. Queen b3. Knight takes b7. Time to think, find the best continuation for Janik. Knight bd5 is best move here because bishop takes d5. Knight takes d5. Queen e5 check. On f6. Queen b8. Queen d1 check. Position is equal. Let's proceed to the main line. Knight takes b7 is not the best move played by Gupta. Queen d1 check is not the best move played by Janik. King h2. Pause the video and find the best move for Janik. Knight bd5 is the right idea because Queen e5. Queen d2. On e4. Knight b6. Knight d6. Knight d7. Still Janik is losing. Let's go to the main variation. King h2. Knight c4 is not the best move played by Janik. Knight c5. Gupta might go for Knight e6 check. King g8. Queen f8 check. King h7. Queen g7 mate and establish a winning position. Queen d6. Janik might go for queen takes e7. Queen takes d6. Knight takes d6. Bishop f1. Gupta intends to play knight takes a4. Knight fe4. Janik is aiming to play knight takes c5. Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. King g2. On f5. Bishop d3. Knight d2. On f4. King f6. King f2. Knight b3. King e2. Gupta wants to play Bishop b5. Knight c5. On h4. King e6. Bishop c6. King d6. Bishop e8. King e7. Bishop takes g6 and dominate the board. Knight c5. Bishop c2. King e6. On g4. Gupta is aiming to play on takes h5. On takes h5. King d2. King d5. Bishop takes f5 and establish a winning position. On takes g4. On takes g4. On takes g4. Bishop takes g6. King d5. Bishop f7 check. King e4. Bishop h5. Gupta wants to play bishop takes g4. King f5. Bishop e8. King e6. King f2. Knight e4 check. King g2. Gupta wants to play bishop takes a4. Knight c3. King g3. Gupta is planning to play king takes g4. King e7. Janik is preparing to play king takes e8. Bishop g6. Gupta is preparing to play bishop d3. Knight d5. On e4 and establish a winning position. Knight d5. On e4. Gupta wants to play pawn takes d5. Knight e3. On e5. Gupta intends to play bishop d3. Knight d1. On f5. King f7. Bishop b5. Knight e3. King f4 and increase their advantage significantly. King d7. Bishop d3. Gupta might go for On f5. King e7. King f4. Knight d5 check. King takes g4, and take decisive advantage. King e6. Bishop b5. Gupta wants to play, bishop takes a4. King d5. Gupta claimed a well-earned victory.